edition to the Super Fanatics podcast. I'm your host, Ray, the show dog Prisby, and man, do we have a show for y'all tonight. But before we get started, let me introduce tonight's starting lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the dog queen herself, Ali Foolery, founder of Here We Go Brownies podcast and the 2024 winner of Cleveland's Best Sports Podcast, which, let's be honest, is like winning MVP of therapy sessions for Browns fans. She's a lifelong member of the Orange and Brown Faithful, which means she survived heartbreak, helmet tosses, and enough quarterback changes to start a fantasy league of just ex-starters. But through it all, she's still working loud and proud. So grab your phone and get ready, because here we go, Brownies, here we go. What's up, LA? Next up, broadcasting. Oh, sorry, she's not here tonight. She's got a voice that can melt heart, lyrics that hit harder than a Nick Chubb stiff arm, and Browns gear in every shade of orange. Singer, songwriter, and certified middle child, which means she's always fighting for attention. And now she has ours. Whether she's hitting high notes or hitting high five after a touchdown, Tanisha brings soul, style, and straight dog pound energy. Make some noise for the one and only middle child herself, Tanisha! She's sharp, she's sassy, and she's serving hot takes like it's game day every day. A weekly fixture on the Ulterior Motives Sports Podcast Network. She's got Browns knowledge deeper than the dog pound and opinion stronger than a Myles Garrett pass rush. Whether she's breaking down plays or breaking hearts with Browns loyalty, one thing's for sure, Chrissy Acuity does not come to play. Give it up for the Queen of Cleveland commentary, Christy Acuity. What's up, everybody? So, hey, before we get started, real quick, I'm gonna give everybody a couple seconds. Let the people at home know what you're doing, what's going on with you. If you got anything coming up, Ali, go ahead, take it away.
I'm just having fun, just gearing up for training camp. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, an exciting Brown season. You never know what they're gonna bring, but I'm just enjoying life down here in Florida. Can't complain.
Okay. Middle child, long time no see. What you got for us?
Yeah, so, I'm pushing my team at work. I won't say the bank that I work for, but our bank does get some occasional tickets we can use. But your team has to perform to earn those tickets. So we're trying to get some tickets to some games this year so we can go as a team, as a company.
Got you. Okay. Krista, what's going on with you?
Well, I just got back down to Florida myself after being up in Cleveland. A couple weeks ago, we did the 4th annual Anthony Griggs Browns Legends Pee Wee football camp. And it was an amazing time. We are already starting to plan our 5th year. So I'm super excited about that. Ali, thank you so much for everything, by the way. Appreciate you so much.
Okay. So let's kick this thing off with the bad news.
Yeah.
Martin Emerson Jr., torn Achilles, out for the season. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seemed like we were getting the secondary together, that it was like we needed a few pieces on defense, and he's been balling. I mean, he's really been balling. So I mean, hey, I guess it's next man up. But my question to you, ladies, is this: do you think the loss of Emerson is really going to hurt the dog pound defense, or do you think somebody's going to be able to step up and take his place? Go ahead, Chrissy. You can go first.
Okay, well, unfortunately, it seems like every year our defense takes a huge hit, and it's usually one of our major players on that defense. So we can't catch a break there. But luckily, we've got some backups. We still have some time to look around and maybe see if we can put someone in his position. But, the Browns is the Browns. We keep taking hits, Can it get much worse? And hey, you know what? The more dysfunctional we look, the closer I think we get to the Super Bowl. So I'm looking at this as a good thing.
Okay. Miss Allie, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's obviously a huge hit. It sucks. Not something you ever want to see. But, Ray, to answer your question, I do think that somebody will step up. And I think that somebody's going to be Cam Mitchell. He's going to step up in the slot. I would expect to see Greg Newsome go outside for the first time really since his rookie season, where he really thrived in that role, kind of opposite Denzel Ward on the outside, throw Cam Mitchell in the slot. I think that's really going to benefit his defense. Because one thing about Martin Emerson Jr., speed was never his strong suit. But you put a more speedy Greg Newsome outside, Cam Mitchell inside. I don't hate it. Look, it sucks. It's definitely a hit. We're going to feel it. We are absolutely going to feel it. But with the kind of a dominant defensive line, it's really going to help out the secondary. I'm not saying like I feel good about losing Martin Emerson Jr. Of course I'm not. But, you know, it is next man up mentality, and you've got a really good young player in Cam Mitchell.
Okay. Good answer. Middle. What's your thoughts on that?
One thing I would say is that past couple seasons, one of our strengths is we had a really nice depth chart on defense. And so we always had somebody that could like step up. I do think we're gonna look to Newsome to step it up. I was watching a few interviews on Grant as well, Del Pitt, and just kind of looking at some of the leadership that it's going to take to overcome these kind of challenges, because these things are going to happen. Injuries are going to happen. I love MJ Emerson. His rollout year was crazy. So we're going to miss him, but I think our guys are going to step up, and they're going to step up and make plays. That's what we got to do. When your people go down, you got to step up, tap into what you have on deck, make plays.
Okay. Well, my thought process is like everybody else, next man up. But I do have something to say about the Newsome. Y'all brought up Newsome going to the outside. I mean, wasn't that where he was kind of weak at and it seemed like he was getting burnt every other play on the outside. It seemed like he was better suited in the slot. I mean, I could be wrong, but I guess we'll see. And that's why they played.
But Newsome can be a little playmaker here and there, though. He made plays.
Okay. Hey.
We're not attacking you.
I ain't gonna mess with you.
It's okay to go against what we say.
Right. Mm-hmm. Oh, exactly. Up next in the news, so Jimmy Haslam came out and he made it clear that the pick for Shedeur was all Andrew Berry. And I sat and listened to it, and there was a lot more commentary going on about it from different shows and whatnot. But we'll stick to this question right here, though. And I guess my question is, who do you think that was more for? Was that more for the sake of the owner, or do you think that he made that statement more for the sake of Andrew Berry? Because when I first heard it, I was saying, well, maybe they see that Shedeur is going to take off and have a significant role, so maybe he's trying to give Andrew Berry the credit for it. Or I was thinking the other side of that, they see that Shedeur ain't gonna be around, and Jimmy was practicing a little CYA, covering his butt. But I guess my question, who do you think that statement served the best? Allie, we'll go with you first.
I mean,
the owner or Andrew?
I think it can be a combination of both, right? I think when the pick was made, everybody on social media, everybody was saying, oh, clearly Jimmy Haslam picked up the phone and said, hey, you got to draft Shedeur here. And then Andrew Berry and his press availability came out and said, no, like we don't have to go to him for who we're going to pick. So I think that there's probably a little bit of both, in the sense that if this does work out well with Shedeur, Haslam is giving Andrew Berry the credit. Hey, you made the pick, good on you. But I also think it's a little bit of him saying, well, I didn't do it. So just in case it's all bloated. So I don't know. I do think it's kind of a mix of both. I think it was an odd comment, but I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Okay. Chrissy.
Chrissy. I've been sitting here just dying laughing about this because I've been waiting for this question to be asked to me. ever since it came up. And of course he's going to put it on Barry. That way he can blame Barry when it doesn't go our way. Okay. And then everybody can say, oh, get rid of Barry now again and get rid of Stefanski again. Because you can't get rid of D and Jimmy. So yeah, I totally think that he's not throwing Andrew Barry a bone. I think he's totally putting this on Andrew Barry so that if something does go wrong, which I think Jimmy Haslam is expecting, I don't expect that, but I think that's what Haslam's expecting because people keep saying it's going to go after Arch Manning. Well, I think that's a stupid idea too, but here we are, the Browns.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well,
come on, middle.
Got to consider like Jimmy's a businessman first, right? So it's a smart business move for him to go ahead and let Andrew be in the spotlight of that decision. It's a smart business move because if he does well, he gets the compliment that he picked a good GM, and then if it does not go well, the fault is off of himself. So it's just a smart business decision for him to say, hey, that's AB's move. That's what you hired him to do. So yeah, you definitely want to do. If I were in Jimmy's shoes, I'd do the same thing. It's smart business. That's what he does. They do the football. He's the businessman. Yeah.
So one of our listeners, James Frank, brought up an interesting point where he said he could have thrown Andrew under the bus for the Watson pick, and he basically took the hit for that. So I guess that's something to think about because I really hadn't thought. I completely forgot about that. But if you going down that line, then yeah, maybe he is protecting. Maybe he is protecting Andrew. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see as things go along. So we're having running back problems with one of our rookies, and Allie, you're gonna like this because your counterpart begged me to make this point.
Oh, jeez.
Basically, the Browns picked up running back, and I'm gonna mess up his name. Is it Tua, or is it Tua?
Tua.
Okay, 5'9", 215.
Tua.
He's bumped around a little bit. Played in the UFL. He looks like he's a scoring machine when he plays at a lower level. Right. Well, he kind of did the same thing in the UFL too. So I guess my question is, do you think? Well, I'm not gonna go there, especially with you ladies. Because I was going to say, do you think he's enough to make us forget about Chubb? But no, we're not going there.
Come on.
But I will say, do you think this guy actually has a fair shot at making it? Because I actually pulled up some film on him when he was in college and some UFL. Well, I want to say USFL, but it's UFL. And he looks like the real deal. Like I said, at those levels. So, Allie, do you think he could replicate what he's been doing in the little boy league up here with the big boys?
I mean, anything's possible. If we go back a year ago, you have UDFA Ronnie Hickman. He makes the team and then has significant snaps last year. Year prior, a couple of years ago, he had DeAnthony Bell. Significant snaps. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they bring somebody in who we anticipate to be a camp body and make the roster and play significant football, especially offensively, whether that's a receiver or running back. Now, no, I'm absolutely not. In no way are we going to forget about Nick Chubb, or is this going to fill the void? It's that nothing can happen that's going to fix that. But at the end of the day, I still think that there is a lot of talent in this running back room, even without Quinshon. When we're just looking at Dylan Sampson, I really like him as a player, SEC Player of the Year. That means something. I think that he's going to be a tough player. I really do. But I mean, it's really hard to say. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've watched a lot of Nevada football or UFL to really speak on it. But I think that anything is possible.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, hey, you could go back and tell Dustin that I tried as hard as I could to shed Mr. Tua in a positive light. But what do you think? What do you think, Middle?
Yeah.
You think Tua has a real shot at making this team?
I haven't watched a lot of film on him either. Um, I'm gonna wait and see. When I think about not having Chubb, I don't even know how to feel about the running back room right now. I don't feel like we have a strong running back room right now, but I just want to wait and see.
Okay, okay. Chrissy.
What? So first, I'm supposed to tell you that evidently the Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin has officially requested a trade, and Denzel Ward has tweeted, "My Ohio State brother Terry McLaurin would look fire in a Cleveland Browns jersey." I'm just saying.
Mm.
Wait, who requested the trade? Oh, Terry. Okay, I got you. I got it now. Where's he in Washington? He's in Washington, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Well, no, actually, I heard that a couple of days ago about Terry requesting a trade. But I guess the Denzel jumping in on it is
Denzel literally just posted that 6 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
On the internet.
How about Taul though? What you think about him? What you think?
Okay, so I was told to tell him that from Cody. But anyway, so from the UFL, he did good in college. I did watch, some film on him too. And being in the UFL, he did all right. But with our offensive line, it's questionable.
Mm-hmm.
If our offensive line can stay healthy and everybody, does well there, I think that any running back that is looking at possibly, making any NFL team could be picked up by the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just saying. But hi Marcus. Hope I'm doing good.
Hey, did we find out Conklin is feeling good, right? Like we got so far, like the people on the O-line we have right now, everybody's healthy. That's the one area where we're not taking a bunch of hits.
Correct. So far.
Not only that, we went away from the zone read last year, and now they reinstalled it. So, because I know, but that was a big thing with Batonio coming back, or at least that's what he said.
Yeah,
he loved. Well, they all love that zone read better than just trying to power block and knock your man back or whatever it was. So, but yeah. I think Tua, he has just as good a chance as anybody else, right? Right. So your best favorite quarterback, Kenny Pickett, is out for a while. Yeah. So I was thinking about that, and so the question that I'm going to pose to you is, with Pickett out, and obviously now everybody's getting more reps. Which one of these quarterbacks do you think is going to take advantage of Kenny Pickett's absence? I mean, it might be an obvious answer, and it might not. Let's go with you first, Chrissy. Who do you think? What quarterback do you think is going to take?
Obviously Gabriel, because unfortunately, I mean, even just looking at that picture, he's just so cute. But I mean, I actually appreciate him as a quarterback and for his little size, because when he was playing for Oregon, he actually did beat Ohio State, and granted, that was a stupid ass call at the end of the game. But anyway, he is a great quarterback. I think that him being little is just, something that we can overlook. Baker wasn't that big, and look how he's doing. Maybe it's the size of the fight and the dog and not the size of the dog and the fight, whatever they say. But I think that Dylan actually is the one that will take the most advantage of this. I think it's going to be Flacco, Sanders, and Dylan.
Okay.
In that order?
Yep, in that order.
Yeah.
Okay, Kanisha. What you think, Kanisha?
I agree with that. I agree with Flacco, then Sanders, then Dylan. Because I'm glad she brought up Baker Mayfield, because he looks like a left-handed Baker Mayfield out there. He's so little. I'm like, they're gonna be smacking the mess out of his ball. They're gonna be smacking that thing down. And I like to see him, like even watching him in camp. I like how he moves. I like how he throws, but I'm just like, man, dude is little. That makes me a little nervous.
We could sneak him in under the O-line, though, like a running back.
Yeah, can he run?
Yeah, he can run.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be his little secret weapon. That might be a little secret weapon to being a little dude. But I, as much as I would love to see Shador get out there and be the one, I also don't want them to shove him out there and then it's too soon and then like hurt his confidence.
Right.
We were talking about this at work today because my whole crew we're a bunch of Browns fans. We were talking about it at work today. Who we think will be, leading us in those first crazy 5-6 games. And I'm like, yeah, for sure they're probably gonna put Flacco out there. They're gonna put the seasoned vet out there on the field and let him, sling it. And then I feel like by game 7, 8, they probably, give Shador some shine. I just feel like once they do turn him loose though, I think he got a little chip on his shoulder. I think he might surprise some people.
Okay. Miss Allie?
I agree. I think in terms of who has the most to gain in terms of Kenny Pickett's absence. Now, one thing, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a long absence, so just a matter of days. But that's reps. This is really important time. I think it's the two rookies. They've got the most opportunity here to get these reps, go up against the ones, and really just kind of showcase their skill set. Now, I agree. I think week 1, it's Flacco out there. He gives you the best chance to win. But I kind of think that we're going to see some of these guys throughout the season. I think everybody's at some point going to have a chance to showcase their skills. I also have Shador too. And I think for Dylan, both Shador and Dylan, actually, I can picture them perfectly in this offense with what Kevin Stefanski wants to get back to doing offensively, wide zone, pulling guards, play action. I think both of them have accuracy. And you don't look at Shador Sanders as the ultimate athlete of getting outside of the pocket and making plays, but he can still do it. He's still a high-end athlete. He can still do these things. And same with Dylan Gabriel. I can absolutely see him escaping the pocket and making plays. They really have that elite accuracy. And I agree when we're talking about Dylan Gabriel, kind of in relation to Baker Mayfield, similar in stature, but also play style. He really is a lot like him, just left-handed. So I think it's going to do well in this offense.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I would have picked one of the rookies that was going to, because Joe is going to be Joe, and Joe's going to do what Joe's going to do, as because he's a veteran. So one of the veterans is going to more than take advantage of what's going on, which obviously that's a good thing. Grant Delpit, year 5.
Grant Delpit.
Be ready to make the big step. So, the thing is, I was reading the article, and it was saying he gave a big shout out to Rodney McLeod for helping him learn, to be, I guess, the defensive play caller, that whole kind of thing. So the article had a lot of good things to say, and I guess my question, because if you can remember, he had that devastating Achilles heel, which takes all of 3 good years. I mean, it takes 1 year to heal, the second year to fully heal, and then by year 3, you should be back full strength. So this is year 5 for him. What kind of player do you think we can expect out of a veteran like Delpit this year? Is he going to grasp that leadership role, or is he going to take a step back or do something else? Go ahead, Middle. What's your thoughts on?
That's what I was kind of saying earlier when we were talking about our DBs, in light of what's going on with Emerson. I feel like they're gonna need that leadership from somebody like Delpit. He's got fire. He's been with the team. He knows the scheme. He's gonna, I think, get some of the younger guys rallied up. Like that's what you're supposed to do when you've been around for a while.
Right. Okay, Chrissy. What's your thoughts?
Oh, I think he's going to come in with some fire. I mean, he's been sitting on the sidelines watching this whole time. He's probably like, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. So I expect to see a lot from him. Of course, he's going to have a huge leadership role on, the defense between him and Miles. I mean, we don't have Jock there, so he's definitely going to take over and take charge. And I see him, Ward, and Miles really just dominating this season.
Okay. Allie, what's your take? What's your take on that?
I think he absolutely will step up because he has to. I mean, I think just naturally he was going to anyways, but especially with Jordan Hicks retiring kind of unexpectedly, and I know that's a different position, but then you lose JOK. I mean, you lose, and now Martin Emerson Jr. Three huge elements to this defense. And now the question is who's going to be the green dot. And I know a lot of people, Cameron Justice on my show last night was saying likely Carson Swessinger, which is really cool that a rookie could be able to do that. But also I was kind of talking, well, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a world where Grant Delpit is the play caller on defense, because we've seen that a couple of years ago, what they did with John Johnson III several years back. But, you know, I think that he's got it. He's got the leadership. He's got the experience. He's got the athleticism. I'm really excited to see him be a more vocal leader out there. That's one thing I've been pounding the table for, you know, with this team is just accountability and leadership. And I think we've got those guys. I really do. I think Grant Delpit's one of them.
Right. I mean, I have to agree to a certain extent. I just want Miles to just take a little step towards that leadership thing. And I get it. Everybody's not a leader, and some people lead through action and that whole kind of thing. I just thought that with Miles, especially after Miles got the big contract, I figured, okay, well, he's gonna do a whole bunch of talking. But hey, I guess as long as he keeps his play to a high level, what else should we be asking for, right?
Well, he's been mic'd up in camp, and he's been doing a lot of big talking at camp. Hopefully, he just keeps that same energy when it's time to ball out.
Yeah, he called for Super Bowl.
Right. So there's a couple of wide receivers making noise in camp. One of them is, I don't want to mess his name up. Is it Keyshawn Johnson? That's Keyshawn. Keyshawn. 6'1", 216, a 4.4 guy, doing a lot of talking. I looked at his stats. Played at 2 different small schools, so we got a big sample size in a small competition. So I guess my thing is, with as thin as the wide receiver room is, do you think Mr. Johnson has a legitimate shot at making the team? Take it away, Allie.
I think anybody does. I just, like I said, a couple of, last year, it's not unprecedented that UDFAs and camp bodies come in and make the roster. I would not be surprised. Now, really the two that have stood out to me, Luke Floria being one of them, Kent State guy, and then Gage Larvadane being another. I think those two kind of have separated themselves, and Cameron Justice was talking about this. Those two have really separated themselves. But you look at the speed of Johnson, and that's not something that this team has really had that they've been able to use. I've always said over the past couple of years, there's unfortunately been some redundancy in the receiver room, and especially it being fairly thin right now. I would imagine that the Browns are going to be eyes wide open to any talent that they can get into that room. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, Chrissy.
Yeah. Okay, you want to hear the most ridiculous thing to ever come out of my mouth? I'm going to say it right now. You know who's out there and available? Amari Cooper and also Odell Beckham Jr. Okay.
I can't stand Odell.
Neither can I.
I can't stand Odell.
Be the most ridiculous thing to ever come out of my mouth. I actually like this kid a lot better than those two options. Even Jarvis is still out there. I haven't heard that he's retired.
Now I love Jarvis.
Yeah. But like Ali said, anybody's got a chance to be in a wide receiver on our team. Hell, I think Marcus could go out there and be a wide receiver on our team and do better than what we got. Because, what do we have? Hopefully what happened with our rookie that we haven't signed yet down here in Fort Lauderdale, hopefully that just like falls through and they find that this was all like a big misunderstanding. I mean, I don't know how to put it better than that, but like I don't know. We got no running backs, we got no wide receivers, so we have defense though.
I mean,
okay. Middle.
Yeah, I mean, the teams know we're going to lead with Judy and Tillman, so it's good to be able to put somebody up in the mix when those guys are getting double teamed or whatever. It's good to be able to throw somebody else up in the mix, and I think he should get some time. He should get some time to show what he has. They should open it up for him. I want to see it.
Okay.
You got to
Well,
be open when you're a Browns fan. You got to be open.
well, my thought is because we are so thin at wide receiver, and Kevin loves that two and three tight end sets.
Mm,
I'm kind of thinking that it's not going to. The emphasis on a great wide receiver room isn't going to be that big of a deal this year, simply because Kevin's going to have that running game that he wants. Well, let's hope that he has the running game that he wants, and he's going to run those 2 and 3 tight ends. And everything that I'm hearing about Fannin, the tight end from I can't even remember where he's from, the rookie tight end that we got.
Okay.
I'm hearing nothing but good things about him up in camp.
Okay.
So I really just don't think that the wide receivers this year is going to be that big of a deal, simply because we're going to do the tight end things. Kind of like
still got the Chiefs.
It's kind of like when New England had Aaron Hernandez and Gronk. They didn't, and it was out of necessity that they ran that, because they were thin at wide receivers, and we know what Tom Brady did with them 2 tight ends. So I can see Stefanski trying to replicate something like that.
So who's our Gronk? Who's our Gronk? David Njoku?
And Njoku, and then Fannin will probably be your Aaron Hernandez.
No. Don't put that on any one of our players. No. All right. Hold on. I want to say first of all,
I apologize. I meant NFL production wise.
Middle, I want to thank you for bringing up Jerry Jeudy, because I can't believe I brain farted him, which I feel so bad about, because I really loved him last season.
Yeah.
And I really think with him and Njoku, he's pretty much our number 1 wide receiver, and Njoku's our number 1 tight end. Those 2 on offense, I love the way that they mix with Joe also. Like, the 3 of them give me goosebumps. Just
heck yeah. I love seeing David. And David is big. Like, David is good for yards after catch. That David's good for that. Like, he's so big and strong. You know, he might only catch it 5 yards out and then take it another 40.
He was too busy like flexing on the field and trying
but I mean, like, when he's dragging people and
start catching the ball, I'm like, yes, you are a football player, not a model.
He's just a beautiful football player. That's what he is.
Ladies, would you like me to leave the room? I can leave the room if you need me to leave the room for a hot minute. And
hey, if we talking beauty though, there's nothing more beautiful than the poetic form of Miles taking these QBs down on that pass rush game. Like, that's what I look forward to every game. I'm like, run that back in slow motion. Yeah. Because nobody that big should be moving that fast, first of all. It's a beautiful work of art to watch Miles take him down. Oh,
no argument here.
We have
again, I can leave for a hot minute if
he play too much.
So hey, this is the time of the show that we always showcase the fan cave spotlight. And
welcome to another episode of Man Cave Moments.
You don't get to talk no more. Oh, wait, we're back.
No, the video's about to play.
Technical difficulties.
I don't know that you would call this a she shed, but I sleep with my brownies every night, particularly this guy here. Like, I dream about him at least 3 nights a week.
Yeah, baby.
It's my baby.
I love it.
So my stuff is mostly composed of gifts. There are 2 jerseys among about 15 total that I own, and I hang the cool ones out here, and they're mostly gifts. This was a gift from a coworker several Christmases ago, because I don't even work for that company anymore. I'm on 3 companies away from that. My last company got me the blanket because they know. But this is I don't have a she shed, but I sleep with my brownies every night. I sleep with them every night. Go Browns.
Amen. Go Browns.
So when I was making that comment about there's only 2 out of the 15, I meant to say there are only 2 out of the like 15 some jerseys that I purchased. The rest of them were all gifts.
Okay.
So my people be
Nice.
looking out.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
I got a few of those.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
All right, Cody, give us our next segment. Word on the street. So word on the street, Jimmy Haslam again. He said sometime during the year he wants to see both of his rookie quarterbacks play, which makes sense to me because let me back up. He's already said that Arch Manning is probably going to be a 2-year guy. So tanking for Arch for next year don't even make sense because he's probably not even coming out next year. But anyway, back to the original question. So Jimmy basically wants to see, like all of us, we want to see what we have in these rookies because we got 2 hot number ones next year. And I'm hoping one of these guys step up so we could use those 2 number ones next year for some very well needed weapons. So my questions, ladies, which one of these guys you want to see step up first? Go ahead, Ali, take it away.
I mean, look, I want to start by saying next year's draft. Yes, we've got 2 first-round picks, and this is in next year's draft, a really good quarterback draft class. Even if we take Arch Manning out of the equation, I mean, you've got a lot of talent here, but none of that matters if one of these guys hits. And I think collectively, Browns fans, we just want a quarterback to hit. I think I would be thrilled with either of them, to take off and be great because ultimately that's just what we want. I mean, in my rankings, I had Flacco, Shador, and then Dylan Gabriel. Personally, I'd like to see Shador out there. I think it's just going to be a great story. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But really, I just want to see good football. So whoever's ready to go, put them in.
Makes sense. Okay. Christy, who you want to see?
I mean,
don't say me. I know you want to see me, but don't say me.
Yeah, I miss seeing you. No. So obviously, just like Ali said, I want to see Shador. I want to see Dylan. Maybe, and hear me out, because Dylan is so little. We use him on like 4th down, sneaks into the end zone, but I don't want them to be put in right away because look at what we've done to other rookie quarterbacks. I mean, we did it to Tim Couch. We did it to Brady Quinn. We did it to, oh crap, what was his name? I can't.
Pretty much all of them.
Yes. I mean, we have killed all of our rookie quarterbacks that we've ever put in. Like, no, we need to let them get to know our offensive line first and let the offensive line practice with them for more than just a couple of times. They got to be able to know each other and know how each other plays in order to work effectively together. So I want Joe to start, but when we go to the rookies, yeah, I can't wait to see Shador out there. I hope that he proves all of his haters wrong. He has already proved me wrong because I had a chip on my shoulder about him because of his dad. He's not his dad. He has proven that he's so much better than his dad. And I'm so glad that he has proven me wrong about that. So I can't wait to see him play. I want to see him do extremely well because, of course, he plays for the Browns. Now, if he goes somewhere else, I want him to fail miserably. But he plays for us, so that's how I
feel. Okay. Middle.
All right. In true Browns fashion, I will root for the underdog. And when I say that, I don't mean the little guy. I mean the disenfranchised. I mean the one who technically was picked in the 5th round, who was really a 1st round draft pick. Like, we're not treating Shador like he's a 1st round draft pick quarterback. We're treating him like, because we picked him up in the 5th round, that's what he is. But I see greatness. And if we're going to pick between rookies, that's who I want to see play. That's who I want to see play.
Okay.
Can I just interject here real quick? Because
sure.
Like I said, I'm rooting for Shador. He's on our team. But when you go back and you look at like his numbers compared to Gabriel Dillon's numbers, Shador was actually a lot lower down the line than Gabriel Dillon, when it comes to like passing yards. He did take more sacks than anybody else in college football, but so he's number one in that. But he hasn't played against like those big, huge, Big Ten colleges like Gabriel Dillon did. And Gabriel Dillon did very well, took his team into the bowls, took his team right to the end. Whereas, Shador, I can't remember their record, but it wasn't an impressive winning record. I know that. And even when he played at Jackson State, his numbers weren't that good. So if you take just numbers and you take out the fact that Shador's a whole foot taller than Gabriel Dillon, it would actually make sense to put Gabriel Dillon in first. But, when you look at size does matter, and sometimes names do carry some weight. So, everybody's excited because they want to see him. He's legendary. He's going to be exciting. So, sorry. Yeah. Wanted to add that.
You're right. He's going to be exciting.
Well, George, and I'm glad George brought that up because I was about to say the same thing. Dillon had a better record, but he had way better talent around him as well too. But at this point, none of that matters now because they're both Cleveland Browns.
That's right.
And what they do going forward is going to determine. Well, let's hope what they do going forward is going to determine.
And trust me, if Dillon goes to another team, I hope he fails miserably too. I like that about anybody that leaves us.
Right.
I want somebody that's going to be like in their mental. Nobody's going to ever move like Chubb. Like the class, the work ethic. You barely even saw Chubb like celebrate when he got into the end zone. Like just so focused and so driven. So even if you're super talented, like someone like Shador, I feel like having a certain mentality going into the game, having a certain work ethic, a respect for the leadership on the team, all of that stuff's going to work in your favor. You can't just be talented.
Right.
You got to be an overall well-rounded player. So I hear where you're coming from with that too.
Okay. Anybody else before we go on? Because y'all look like y'all about to jump on me. So
turn from dogs to cats.
Hey, I was at training camp the other day, and everybody had held their collective breaths when DeJuan Jones went down. Yeah. And when I say he went down like some lumber. Got carted off, but
he's good though.
That was the end of the bad news. It was heat exhaustion.
I was gonna say they say he good.
The big guy wasn't hydrated enough. So my question to you, ladies, do you think if he goes down, who do we have to replace him? Because I know we always want to say next man up, but at some point, it's our offensive line is already thin. So I guess the question, and I'll let Ali go first. My question is, if Jones goes down, who's going to replace him?
Yeah, it's a scary thought, right? Because this offensive line, while healthy now, if we lose anybody, we're in a pickle. You've got Lorenzo Thompson behind him, but I would say in terms of like a swing tackle, somebody that I would expect to go in right away that kind of understands this offense and can do it is Cornelius Lucas. He's been in the league. He's done it. He comes to mind. I think he would be the one to step up if either tackle were to go down. He's got that ability. It's a scary thought. And Christy, you know this, down in Florida, it's tough out here. And if you're out in the sun, it can be very, very, very dangerous. So I'm just collective sigh of relief that DeJuan is okay. But it's a scary thing.
So Ali, real quick, would Jedrick Wills be an option for you?
I don't know. I think he's kind of an easy answer, an obvious answer, because he knows this offense. I think you can get him probably at a decent price to come back in here and contribute. I don't know if he would want to. I think that's probably the thing. If he wants to return to this team, I don't know. And I can't speak to that. I don't know Jedrick, to say whether or not. I would be open to it because I think you need all the help you can get on this offensive line, especially somebody that's familiar with the system, familiar with what Kevin Stefanski wants to do, what we want to get back to offensively. I think it's definitely definitely something to consider. But if, God forbid, somebody were to go down, I would not be surprised to see them go into the free agent market or even make a trade to bulk up, especially the tackle position. I wish that they would have done that in the draft or earlier in free agency, brought somebody else in. Wide receiver and offensive line were the two things that I was like, we've got to get this figured out. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it. I just don't know how willing he may be to come back.
Right. Okay. Middle. What you think?
What I love these days is like the seed of the NFL, meaning like how quickly you can, or at any point, you don't have to be in the draft to like pick somebody up, you know, to fill a spot. You're not going to just replace DeJuan Jones. I'm just put that on out there. You're not going to just replace him. But I do love that when you have somebody like Andrew Berry, who's like always thinking ahead on behalf of the team, you'll be surprised when he just say, hey, we just picked up, like, what's the young man? There's a rookie we just brought in is backing up for JLK when that situation. You mentioned him earlier, Ray. The young rookie coming in.
Carson Schwarzenegger?
Thank you. Grabbing somebody like that, you know what I mean? But in the same position, like as a DeJuan Jones, like those things can happen. Now, as far as Jedrick Wills, I'm thinking like the thing about him is like you would go with proven. That's one of the things the Browns would do too. They would go with like somebody who's proven. That they know that, you know, that's reliable.
But what is Wills proven? That he can't block. I mean, that's about the only thing he has proved. But go ahead. I mean, come on. He's basically a matador.
Didn't he have the keys to Progressive Stadium for Baker for a while?
Let people run right by him like it's a bull.
Oof.
All right, I'm sorry. I got off track. Go ahead.
So now we got who? Him, Joe Batonio, Conklin,
Jerron Christensen or Christian. What is his name?
And then, I mean, of course, the center Ethan Postage and White Tiller. I mean, that's the starting offensive line.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Healthy.
What's your thoughts, Chrissy?
Well, just like Middle said, you know, at least we can always go out and grab somebody off the streets. You know, Andrew Berry's always got his eyes open. We can move a couple of guys around, you know, but let's just fingers crossed that none of our offensive line guys get hurt, especially
For
Jack.
real.
Like Jack has, you know, got a little habit of getting hurt early in the season. So fingers crossed they go easy on him during training camp and preseason games.
Right.
But I don't think that we're gonna get Jed back. Didn't he want out? Like that was my.
He's taking a year off. He came out and said that he's taking a year off to find himself.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Exactly. Like,
you better find yourself back on that field.
Right.
As long as it's not on the Brown sidelines, as long as it's not on the Brown sidelines, I'm good. I'm good with it. I don't know if anybody caught Louis Riddick's rant the other day, but his rant was in response to what we talked about earlier when Jimmy came out and basically let everybody know that the Shador pick was Andrew Berry's, and basically he said that they got Shador skating uphill. Half of the front office wants him, the other half don't want him. He just went on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
And I'm sure he knows everything, doesn't he?
Wait a minute. What media personality doesn't know everything? I mean, come on. And what they don't know, they make it up. So yeah, I mean, come on, you know the drill.
Click, 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 click.
Right, exactly. Clickbait. So I guess my question is do you think that there's any truth to what he's talking about in terms of half of the team wants him, the other half doesn't want him? And you know what? I'm going to go first because it's like it doesn't make sense because first of all, if you're going to do all that, why draft him in the first place? I mean, if you're going to take a guy, at least go through the motions to see it. First of all, you got him at a bargain, 5th round, $1 million, $2 million, whatever it is, $3 million, $4 million. You got him on a cheap rookie contract. I would keep Shador all 4 years, trying to see, hoping something, because again, you have him on a cheap contract. But that's just me. So, putting the question out to you, ladies, do you think that the Browns? I mean, come on. I know the Browns do the Browns, or they do Brown stuff, or wherever that saying is. But do you actually think that they're that dysfunctional, where they're basically trying to sabotage his career before it even gets started? And we'll go with you first, Christy. Go ahead, Christy. What you think?
No, they're not going to sabotage his career before it gets started. I think this guy is a total jackass. And like I said, click, 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 click. And that's all I got to say about this dude. I'm not going to waste any more breath on him.
Okay. Middle.
There are always going to be mixed emotions when you bring somebody with the kind of energy that someone like Shador has. I mean, like she said earlier, like carrying on that reputation with his dad and all that energy. And so you're gonna have mixed emotions, but I don't think that was the intent. I don't think the intent was malicious. You don't pick somebody up like that in malice. You pick somebody up like that hoping you get lucky, hoping you made a good call, hoping he, could be what you could see potentially could be in him. But I don't think you pick him up to violate him. No, I don't feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because worst case scenario, just let him sit. And then nobody, like his brother, nobody drafted his brother. He would have been a free agent. Bada boom, bada bing, whatever.
Oh, that dude's his best life down here in Tampa now. He's hilarious too.
Oh yeah, he is. He is hilarious. Okay, Allie, I need one for the kids. Allie, what you got?
Look, I think this is it's bad. I think that he's using clickbait here or a storyline at the expense of Shador Sanders, and I think that's ugly. I don't like it. I don't think that the Browns I think the Browns have done a lot of things, and they've made some really bad decisions, but they're not out to get Shador Sanders. I mean, if anything, we're hoping that he's the guy, right? I think doing this at the expense of Shador is that sucks. It really sucks. He's misinformed, and this is just an easy story for most national media and reporters.
I call it lazy journalism.
Yeah.
So if you thought that story was crazy, wait till they get a load of this one. So Asante Samuel on his podcast, he concocted this crazy scenario where Shador balls out all through preseason, only for us to trade him to the Colts.
No.
So when I read this, I'm like, okay, you obviously don't know the history of the Browns and our quarterback since 1999, because if you did, you would know that I don't even know how many quarterbacks we've gone through since 99. It has to be 40 something, whatever. So I guess my question to you, young ladies, is this the dumbest take ever or what? Chrissy, what you got for me?
It's almost as dumb as the first one. I mean, click, 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 click.
Okay, we'll go with that one. Allie, what you got? Click,
yeah,
click.
I agree. This is clicks everywhere. I mean, it's so many media members are writing about Shador because it's a storyline. He warrants the attention, and I'm glad for us fans that we have him because I think we can buy into a guy like this. No, I don't think it's going to happen. Now, I do think that it's possible that a quarterback that they don't go into the 53-man roster with 4 quarterbacks on the roster. I think that's possible, but I don't think that Gabriel or Sanders will be the one moved. I think if anything, it could potentially be Kenny Pickett. That's just total speculation at this point. But no, that's crazy.
Right. I mean, when you have a 3rd-round quarterback and a 5th-round quarterback, those are very lovely, agreeable rookie contracts that you want to keep those people around if they show any kind of potential. So this to me, this was the tail end of the silly season because that was some silly stuff. So this is the part of the show that I know you ladies are gonna love, because we get to reminisce about your favorite player that is no longer a Cleveland Brown. So my question to you, and I'm gonna let you go first, Allie.
Okay.
What was your favorite Nick Chubb's moment?
Oh man, there's so many. There's so many. I think the first one that comes to mind it's the Jim Donovan call where he said like Chubba Wubba Hub. And I just replay that in my head over and over and over again. But actually one of my favorite Nick Chubb memories was his rookie season when he got to go with Carlos. We traded away Carlos Hyde. And I remember thinking like, what are we doing? Oh my God, Carlos Hyde. Well, we got to see Nick Chubb. And I just look back on his rookie season, how magical that 2018 season was where, Baker helped us bust open the beer fridges. We could all drink again because the Browns won a game. We weren't 1-15, 0-16, but it was the collection of these young guys, Baker Mayfield, Denzel Ward, Nick Chubb, Myles Garrett. I mean, it was just what a fun time that was. A lot of hope. And, when I think back on the best seasons for the Browns, Nick Chubb just comes to mind.
Okay. Okay. Chrissy.
What? Okay, so I agree with Allie about, I think just that season alone when they did open up the beer coolers, even though I was down here and I didn't get to partake in the Bud Light beer coolers and I don't drink anyway, I still think that was like the most exciting time. And I remember being at my parents' house when we won that game. And I was screaming and yelling, oh my God, we're actually going to win a game. Oh my God, we're actually going to win a game. And, it's hard for me because I am so far removed out of the Cleveland area. So when Nick actually got traded and he's now at the Texans, I didn't I don't want to seem insensitive, but it just didn't affect me as much. And I feel bad saying that because everybody else is like, oh, and I'm like, well, he's gone to another team. Let's, get another one. So.
Okay. Middle. What was your moment?
I'm going to bounce a little bit off of that sentiment she just shared because I feel like we got the best out of Nick Chubb. I don't think anybody's going to get what we got out of him.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this. The most epic moment for me was watching Nick Chubb get the longest run in Cleveland Browns franchise history, that 92-yard touchdown he scored. I watched that thing run back so many times. I watched it in Spanish. There was an announcer who read it. You can hear him announcing in Spanish. What did Nick Chubb? It was so exciting that people all over the world were going nuts behind the way he ran the ball. We were using that to even compare him to some of the greatest quarterbacks that have ever played Cleveland Browns football. And we were comparing they were great runners, but taking it to the house like that, running backs are great running, averaging 5-6 yards a carry. For him to run a 92-yarder back like that just lit my world up. And he never acts like he did something crazy. You see guys get in the end zone and do cartwheels and flips and everything, and Chubb just opens his arms up like, this is what I was born to do. So I will always love him, and I will just miss that work ethic and that passion on the field. I hate to see us not have him.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, mine has to be, and I'm pretty sure it was against the Ravens, but it was his run, and Baker was basically running probably maybe 10 yards behind him, but he ran the whole length of the field, and
I remember that.
Wasn't Baker flailing his arms around the whole time?
Yeah. And the camera was jumping back and forth between Chubb and Baker was just running, not throwing a block, just running because he was
running with him.
And it was. I'll just say Chubb really brought us a lot of good memories.
Yeah.
Considering how tough it has been for us Browns fans to have something to really cheer about. He was definitely something that every Browns fans could get behind and cheer about him.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Except for when he was doing those squats. I couldn't stand it when he would do those. Every time he would start squatting, I'm like, oh my God. I'm just no.
600 pounds.
He was scandal free. He was a class act on that field. Love him.
Chubba wubba, chubba wubba wubba,
Chubba wubba wubba, chubba wubba wubba.
ladies, our hour is up, and it went by so fast.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because y'all were so great. You made the show. I'm just pointing my finger. Y'all were the show tonight. So I appreciate you. I love you. And with what we always close the show with, go